Progress a bit here in 2.1. So let's work through a couple of these together. I don't know, we have about 9 minutes left in our class. So I don't know if we'll get to the board today. I would like to be able to, but we might not get there. Hey guys, hey. Kind of the random chit chat needs to come to a close. So number one, we're going to start off with this. We see this pretty crazy looking equation down below. Pretty complicated. Not something that we're going to be equipped to solve very easily, if at all. Notice that this question says this. It says, check to see if y equals 7 is a solution of that equation. So what we're supposing here is that somebody has tried to solve this equation. They came up with a solution of 7, and our job is not to solve the equation. Our job is to check to see if they did it right. Anybody have any ideas on how we could check that?
I know.
What could I do, Will? That's right. Wherever you see a y, you put a 7, and we're going to see if it ends up making this equation true or false. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 2. We're going to evaluate like we've practiced. 2 times 7 plus 1 over 7 minus 2 plus 14 over 7 equals absolute value of 7 minus 28 all over 3 minus 2. Oh my goodness, this is a mess. Well, let's go through and start to evaluate things a little bit. I'm going to work on this first one first. Let's do the numerator. Let's see if we can do a couple of PEMDAS steps in one. What's 2 times 7?
14.
Plus 1?
15.
Okay, and I'm going to do the denominator as well. What's 7 minus 2?
5.
I think we're in a pretty good place with that first one. Let's take a look at the second term. This one right here. What's 14 over 7, really?
2.
It's division, right? So 14 divided by 7 is 2, so plus 2. Over here, 7 minus 28 inside the absolute values. What's 7 minus 28?
21.
No, 7 minus 28 is not 21. It's negative 21, but what's the absolute value of that? 21, okay. So 21 over 3. We still have that minus 2. So I'm going to come over here. Let's see if we can finish this out. What is 15 over 5? 3. So we get 3 plus 2 equals 21 over 3 is? Oh my gosh, do you see this? 3 plus 2 is 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. That thing checked. Therefore, our conclusion would be this. Yes, y equals 7 is a solution because it satisfied the equation, right? It made the equation true. That's how we know that an answer is correct or perhaps incorrect if it makes the equation false. Okay, so do you guys have any questions at all on that? The way that you check is to plug in and see if it's true. If it's true, then yes, it's a solution. If it's false, the answer is no, it's not. So let's do a couple of these here together. And I just want to mostly, I'm guessing that most of you have seen things like this. I want to just establish and make sure that we all understand the steps that you need to show, the communication you need to show. I don't think you're going to find it to be too much more probably than what you experienced if you did any of this in previous classes. All right, so number 2. Number 2 says solve. And let's interpret the word solve a little bit. Does anybody know another word that kind of means the same thing as solve? What is it, Grace?
Find the value of.
You know what? I totally agree with that, but I'm looking for a single word, not like find the value of.
Evaluate.
No, not quite. Not evaluate. Were you going to say evaluate? Yeah, it doesn't mean evaluate.
Would it be simplify?
No.
What does it start with?
You will play a little Wheel of Fortune here. The letter. What is it? Starts with the letter I.
Identify.
S.
Stop. I saw.
Good math word.
Hold on.
Isolate.
Yeah, Neil.
Oh, I heard my Neil said.
So solve, like if you're going to, listen up, congratulations to Neil, well done. If you're going to solve for x, that means isolate x. And if you think, gosh, what does isolate mean? Doesn't it mean get it by itself?
Yes.
Okay, so take a look at number 2. Look at the x right now. is the x on the left side there, is the x by itself over there?
No.
What's with the x?
-3.
-3. So here's where we're going to think about how we isolate the x. How do you get rid of the -3? What is it, Grace?
You have to plus a 3.
That's right. So guys, I'm going to erase the word isolate for now. Here's how you note this. You're going to add 3 to the left side. But remember that an equation is a balancing act, right? It's like a scale that needs to be balanced. Whatever you do to the left side, you've got to do the same thing to the right side. And so since we added 3 to the left side, we are going to add 3 to the right side as well. Usually draw a little line right there. What is -3 plus 3?
0.
That's the whole point of doing this, right? It gets rid of that -3. So the left side is just x. The right side, of course, is 10 plus 3. 13. 13 is the solution to this particular equation. Did you notice the steps? I showed what I did to both sides, and I got my answer. So, listen please. For this reason, this sort of equation is called a one-step equation. Because you show one step, and there's the answer. Does that make sense? Let's think maybe about number 3 here. This will probably be the one we finish with, and we'll pick this up and we'll roll through 2.2 tomorrow. So take a look at number 3. We're supposed to solve or isolate x. So right now, as it currently stands, is the x by itself?
Yes.
I don't think so. When I say by itself, I mean on that side of the equation.
It's x.
There's the equal sign. Is the x by itself on the left side?
No, you need to get rid of the 3/8.
So how is the 3, listen please, how is the 3/8 attached to the x? What is it, Ashlyn? How do we undo that? Exactly, that's the additive inverse, right? So we're going to subtract, so we're going to go minus 3/8. But we can't do that unless we do the exact same thing to the other side. So we're going to go minus 3/8 to the other side. These, the 3/8 minus 3/8 adds out. That was kind of the whole reason for doing this. But over here I get 7/4 minus 3/8. What do I need to be able to combine fractions like this? What do I need?
Common denominator.
Okay, so let's do that. So what is the common denominator between fourths and eighths?
8.
So the 7/4 needs to become?
11/8.
11/8.
No, it needs to become 14/8.
14/8 and minus
Answer
3
that.
Minus 3/8 gives us 11/8. So I hope that maybe you've seen some of this a little bit before. If you haven't, it's totally fine. We'll kind of continue to build this out. Next time we'll get into like 2 and 3 step equations. We'll build them up significantly, okay? Again, thank you for your good questions. I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. No, Wednesday? Wednesday. I'll see you Wednesday.
Just a quick question. Like, say you had